Hi JJ. I am going to make some comments on your poem Tools of My Trade. I'm going to read the first draft and then the revision out loud, and then I have some comments to make. I'm finding it a little bit hard to comment on this. I like both drafts. I like things that happen in both drafts for different reasons. So maybe I'll take some time and look at the first draft and then look at the revision that you've tightened into a really, sharp, no pun intended, piece, and talk about the things that I like that you've done and the things that I feel still need to be done, and some things that maybe have gone missing in between in that revision process. But yeah, let's take a look. Here's Tools of My Trade on the left, the first draft. Single-edged razors with stainless steel structure provide excellent durability. Great for removing tape residue, glue, or made-in-China stickers. Utility knives with retractable sheave designed to deconstruct. Perfect for shaping shingles, drywall, and scraping paint. X-Acto knives with a sharp, thin edge, equipped with specialized handle, permits precise cuts to delicate fabric with optimum control. Box cutters with breakaway blades, contrived for the sharpest cut, ideal for penetrating fiberboard and ripping through thick cloth. Though not all the same, they are tools of my trade, each slicing through skin in exactly the same way. And here is the revision on the right. Tools of my trade. Single-edged razors with stainless steel structure, ideal for removing tape residue, weak old scabs, and made-in-China stickers. Retractable box cutters with convenient breakaway blades, perfect for penetrating fiberboard, shaping drywall, and carving your crush's name. X-Acto craft knives with smooth, scalpel-like precision, favored for tracing intricate patterns on delicate fabric, wallpaper, and thighs. The tools of my trade designed to deconstruct, dragging across soft skin, quietly beckoning that first bright red bubble. Okay, so what I see, the theme that you're working with is this juxtaposition of these very sharp knife tools, the way that many people see them, crafters or workers or just general people, and then the way they are seen through the eyes of someone who would use them to self-mutilate. So I think that you've done a really great job with the tone. It's a very kind of cool, calculating, edgy, all of the things that you might even describe a knife with. This cuts. This definitely cuts. And what I really love about what you did with the revision is that you've really laser focused here in on the details that you found important, as well as introducing the kind of peppering in the little bits and pieces that make the reader realize that you're talking about something more than just tools. The week old scabs, the crush's name, this wonderfully placed word here, thighs. And I usually don't say this, but I want more. I want more from this. And I think I say that because I see you alluding to some of these things in the first draft, and some of them came out by the time the second draft came along. So let's take a look here first at the first stanza from each, the first draft and the second draft. Single-edged razors with stainless steel structure provide excellent durability, great for removing tape residue, glue, or made-in-China stickers. And then here it turns into single-edged razors with stainless steel structure, ideal for removing tape residue, week-old scabs, and made-in-China stickers. So I think you did a great, you made the right move in removing this provide excellent durability, which is somewhat of an unnecessary detail. But what I really loved in the first draft was that we didn't get any of the cutting imagery just yet. You let the reader sort of enter into this poem, get sort of comfortable before starting to layer on the meaning. The other thing that I really liked was that the details here that you choose, the tape, the glue, and the stickers, were all things that, a kid would maybe use a razor for. Not a young child, but, a teen, an adolescent, might be taping things up on the wall, or gluing crafts, or putting stickers, and as that adolescent grows into a teenager, they might want to remove those reminders of when they were younger. Like they don't like that My Little Pony poster anymore, so they're scraping the tape away that had held up the poster, and the scraping away of those childhood, the evidence of childhood, I think, is a really powerful image that you craft here without going too overboard. So I liked that in here. I see what you're doing here with the week-old scabs, because it's sort of innocent, but it's also like, wait a second, people don't really use razors to do that normally, and that and also the image of this is the thing that covers over a wound. All of that is really playing off together. So I was wondering if maybe this could be saved for one of the subsequent stanzas, if you wanted to add some of this back. I missed this utility knives section from the new draft as well. I really love the sounds that are happening here. Utility knives with retractable shiv designed to deconstruct, perfect for shaping shingles, drywall, and scraping paint. So all of these signs, the alliteration here, designed to deconstruct, which I know that you still do have in the revision in a different place. The shiv, the shaping and the scraping, the shaping, shiv shaping and shingles, all of this sort of like quiet, like secret sort of sounds. I really liked all that. So, if you wanted to bring this utility knives back in, this week-old scabs might actually fit in there. With the scraping and the scabs, sound might come back in here. I also think that you did a good job of describing the utility knife with the retractable shiv, and then this kind of like abstract piece thrown in here, the designed to deconstruct. I liked that you have like the sort of the concrete picture of the knife, and then this other piece that alludes to what it was made for and what many people use it for. And it also goes back into the first stanza. It calls me back into this deconstruction of the childhood, and the papering on or layering on of what happens to the older person. Okay, so let's move on here. X-Acto knives with a sharp, thin edge, equipped with specialized handle, permits precise cuts to delicate fabric with optimum control. I think that you've done a really great job with the stanza. X-Acto craft knives with smooth, scalpel-like precision, favored for tracing intricate patterns on delicate fabric, wallpaper, and thighs. So this part, I wouldn't say that you should really change at all. One thing that did throw me off was the smooth scalpel-like precision. That isn't the most vibrant of images. I think that could be clarified and made more concrete in its description. But otherwise, I think that's really great. Okay, let's do the box cutters. In the old draft, the box cutters with breakaway blades contrived for the sharpest cut, ideal for penetrating fiberboard and ripping through thick cloth, becomes retractable box cutters with convenient breakaway blades, perfect for penetrating fiberboard, shaping drywall, and carving your crush's name. So I'm gonna actually just I'm gonna do my rearranging here, this reader's best read of your poem here, because the box cutters part really starts to get into clearly saying, or at least alluding to, in a much more direct way, this carving your crush's name, especially coming after this thighs part, because it's like carving your crush's name in a tree, on the wall. No, I think you're talking about into your body. Let me just do a quick thing here. Great for removing copy. Shell structure. Yeah, great for glue. Paste this in here, or stickers. That maybe could get something else descriptive in there. Okay, and then we'll talk about the last stanza here. So for me, and I think there's maybe little tiny bits and details and sounds that you can play around with in this second draft, but this is sort of the way that I see the revision and the first draft working best together. Single-edged razors with stainless steel structure, great for removing tape residue, glue, or stickers. Utility knives with retractable shiv, designed to deconstruct, perfect for shaping shingles, drywall, and scraping paint. Oh, and then there was scraping paint and week-old scabs. X-Acto craft knives with smooth scalpel-like precision, favored for tracing intricate patterns on delicate fabric, wallpaper, and thighs. Retractable box cutters with convenient breakaway blades, perfect for penetrating fiberboard, shaping drywall, and carving your crush's name. So these four stanzas together, for me, really, knock it out of the ballpark. A couple things if you want to think about line breaks. I might make some of these a little bit longer. A lot of your stanzas are 4 lines, but you're not necessarily sticking with that. And I think that it's easy to lengthen these lines and make them a little bit more sensical. Single-edged razors with stainless steel structure, utility knives with retractable shiv, X-Acto craft knives, and then, in this stanza, you might want to sort of depart from this, especially, you have the same sort of construct in each of these stanzas. The tool, the colon, and the description of them. So I think that works. You could do it the same way in each one. I'm sort of just playing around here. But you want to look at a few things in line breaks, not just the rhythm of the reading, but also the way that you begin and the way that you end lines. Designed to deconstruct. Okay, so if you look here, single edge and structure, and then grate and glue, and residue and glue. These are, and then stickers and structure. All of these sounds and words are really like playing off of each other. And when you have them in the beginning and the end of your line breaks, it really calls your reader's attention to them. And then going on to the next one, here's the structure and deconstruct. Okay. Here's great and perfect. And then you have to be careful, though, of course, because here, I'm just going to make this as a pattern. This is stuff to play around with, but you have to look and make sure, you have perfect and perfect here. Again, I think there's just sort of little detail things that you still need to correct for in this revision, but not a huge amount of work here. Sorry to totally cut and paste all over the place on here, but I just wanted to show you what, a way that this poem could look. If you are attached to this, the shorter lines and the sort of four, well, here it's 5 lines, but in the revision there were sort of shorter lines and 4-line stanzas. That's something that you can use as well. I just wanted to sort of give you a way to see that there's a different way to structure, and also make sure that you are giving your reader the cues and the clues that they need to dig into this poem. Okay, so let's take a look here at the last stanza, because I think, this last stanza is where you want to tie everything together. And yet, I don't know that you need to tie everything together for your reader. There's a tendency, I think, especially in poetry, to try to make sure that your reader is getting it. Do you get what I'm saying here? I'm sort of being obscure, and I'm sort of talking in images, so I want to make sure that you're actually getting it. But even without this stanza, we really get what's going on. We can understand from all of this. So I think this impulse here, the tools of my trade and the design to deconstruct, is what you want to focus on. And you can get some of this, the skin, the bright red bubble. You can either pepper that in above. I think this poem could even be longer. I think these stanzas could be longer, or I think you could repeat tools or add a couple of tools, needles or scissors, or even if you personally didn't use these things, other tools, quote unquote, that people might use to hurt themselves. And you can, as you go on, get a little bit clearer, putting some of this other imagery in, instead of doing this stanza that tries to put it all into a neat box and tie it up and give it to the reader. The reader doesn't need that, and the reader kind of wants to be able to interpret on their own. So even if they don't get to the point where it's here's a compulsive self-harmer, like someone who's continually doing this, that's okay, because they're still going to get this sense of eeriness, this sense of like something is wrong, this sense of a young person moving from childhood into the teenage years, and by the pieces that you have chosen to show, they'll get those glimpses. And that makes it so much more interesting when the reader can even leave the poem feeling still a bit uncertain and a bit off-kilter. I think with this material, that is one of the ways that you can make sure you're not going overboard with the material that's very sensitive. So I think that's about all that I have to say. I hope that these comments help you. And, I'm certainly not trying to say that you have to like turn in a poem that looks like this. But hopefully with some of the reworking that I've done, you can, it opens it up a little bit for you to see what one reader saw. So thanks again for sharing a really strong piece with us, and look forward to reading the next revision. Thanks, JJ.